when I was about like 8 or 9 years old, I had the uncle that knew all that shit. Um, Told me about everything. The question I asked was the moon landing thing. And I didn't even ask that. I just said something about the moon. He goes, "Oh, that bullshit was fake." You're like, "What? What?" He describes everything. He lays it out. You go, "Oh, yes, everything that I've learned. He's clearly right." So then about 2 or 3 years later, there's another campfire explains the Jesuits, the Freemasons, the structure of the Catholic Church, the whole goddamn 9 yards. You just get it. So then you spend 30 years seeing everything unfold.
Right.
So when I was 18 years old, it was the night before I went to college. I had two buddies stay over late at night. We're off running around through the fields, shooting woodchucks through the day, whatever, just getting the last country boy shit out of your fucking system. That's it, end of August. This would have been 2003. And I can literally, if you wanted to bring up your Google Maps on your phone, I can give you the address and show you exactly where I was standing.
Well, we don't have to do that. I don't want to put it
Right.
I'm
just saying that
I believe
I can give you the names. I can tell you where we don't have to do that.
Cool.
There was a palpable feeling in the air, and we were all getting very creeped out. The three of us. We were standing in front of what is considered a hog shed in Northwest Ohio, and we saw what was a very dark black triangular object coming over what is, if you know what Northwest Ohio is like, is everything is flat. It's completely fucking flat. Like not even Kansas knows what flat is compared to this little section of Northwest Ohio. The triangle had like the classic lights that you always see from the 60s, 70s, 80s of like, UFO shit. And
like in
it
each
passed
corner?
from the north to the south. And as it was approaching us, 3 black SUVs came down the county road. There was no reason for anybody to be going down. This is like, residential and farms. As it passed over, we kind of freaked the fuck out, hid behind some bushes, watched them pass by. And as we kind of ducked around and they passed the bridge that passes over, kind of obscures our driveway a little bit. They kind of drove past, and we kind of came out and we're like freaking out, like what the fuck did we just see? Is that some like UFO stuff? And then we all started talking. Oh, this is a military shit. We all know what's going on. There's Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. This is post 9/11. We've all gone through this is our Vietnam shit. So we get it. And before we can walk back up to the house, either the same one had circled or another one passes, and another 2 SUVs pass right back through following that one. So I'm not saying it's aliens or UFOs. I'm not saying it's the military. It is what it is, but I could actually give you the 2 people that witnessed it. I could give you the exact fucking address that we saw it. And it was the classic, like, it had the big light in the center. All the corners had the lights.
What color?
No sound, nothing.
What color were the lights?
The outside lights were red upon approach. As they passed over, the red kind of went away and they were blue. And the center light was on or off, red or kind of a blue-white. It wasn't ever strobing or flashing or anything like that. But it did kind of change depending on where it was. I don't know if the light was changing or it was our, perspective of it.
Right.
But it was clearly some sort of an actual physical craft moving silently. It was the shit that we had seen, like in, you know, the cover, you know, sketchings of magazines and, you know, like some, you know, X-Files shit. You know what I mean? It was the classic, like, oh shit, we're actually seeing it. It's right there. We saw SUVs blowing through. It was literally one of the craziest things ever. And strangely enough, that is not even the craziest shit I've ever seen in Northwest Ohio. But it was just the vertical ones, and it was like, okay, I've been watching you guys for like a year. I gotta tell you about this one, absolutely. And I think it's just because I'm in the area. I've got Toledo nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Their Air Force Base comes out. They're whatever 100 miles or whatever. Wright-Patterson would be in Ohio. You got Detroit, Chicago. You know what I'm saying? You have massive cities.
How far are you from Wright-Patterson? Like when you saw that thing?
I couldn't tell you exactly Wright-Patterson. Like I couldn't tell you how many miles it is exactly.
Mm-hmm. But like
I know that the Toledo Air Wing is they fly over us routinely.
Okay. Did your uncle that you were talking about, did he ever talk about Wright-Patterson?
No. I don't want to give too much information on him, obviously, just out of, you know, like I don't have an established relationship with you people and stuff kind of thing, whatever.
That's fair.
All of his information came from, he went to college down in Ohio University. Mm-hmm. And he stayed with, okay, you know how back in the day, this would have been like fucking 80. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to drop the F-bomb there. My bad. Back in like, you know, 70s, 80s and stuff, like you would have off-campus living.
Yeah.
He stayed with somebody that, as far as I understand, was formerly an employee of the NSA. Now, that sounds all conspiratorial and shit. Mm-hmm. But, you know, 35 years ago when I was told how everything works, and then I sat here for 35 years and watched it all happen, and you guys sit there on Timcast and fucking, you know, talk about it. I'm like, guys, you're catching up.
Yep.
Thanks. So it's one of those things of like, well, I don't want to go into it, but as far as I understand, this man was very deep into shit. And what I relayed to you, that was not anything to do with him. This was just like when I'm seeing it, I'm going, oh shit.
Right. Yeah, I was just curious because your proximity to Wright-Patterson and the stories that come out of Wright-Patterson, plus the knowledge your uncle knew, curious if there's any connection.
Well, yeah, because Wright-Patterson is probably down by what? Dayton, Findlay, somewhere down that way?
Dayton, yeah.
Yeah. Like Dayton, I mean, yeah, that's...
A lot of UFO sightings out of Wright-Patterson.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. When I was an 18-year-old kid about to, literally the next day I got into a fucking van with my family and they dropped me off at college. I saw that shit in the sky and with my two best buddies. And we were just supposed to have fun before I left for college. And you go, oh, what the fuck is that? It's probably some fucking shit out of Wright-Patterson. Like, yeah. Why would we bother about that?
Might have been your uncle driving it for all you know. No. Awesome. Well, hey, man, I appreciate that story. And I know you said you had other stories, so you should call back and share those.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I just wanted to talk to you about one other thing, if I can.
Yeah, go for it.
It's the Mangione thing.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Now, I have literally posted this shit on so many different things. I've tried it. I'm telling you, this is obvious. You can Wikipedia this shit. Okay. Luigi Mangione, I personally do not think was the guy that actually shot the guy. Okay. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah. I think that there was plenty of coverage of that's probably not the same guy. However, Luigi Mangione is the grandson of somebody that was probably involved with some mob activity in Baltimore. His cousin happens to be a Maryland representative, like in the state, whatever what I don't know, House of Burgesses or whatever Maryland has, House of Reps, whatever they have. Luigi Mangione's grandfather was a very good friend of the mayor of Baltimore for many, many years. That man is, I think his name is D'Alessandro. And if you know who the D'Alessandros are, then you know that his daughter married Paul Pelosi.
Oh yeah, I do know that connection with Pelosi.
Yeah. Okay, so
Not
I
to
actually
Mangione,
had heard Mangione and the Pelosi connection before Luigi ever entered the fucking public mindset, because of Michael Franzese.
Yes, that's how I heard it. He told us on the Culture War. I was like, why does this sound so familiar?
Oh,
yes.
He was on the Culture War? Damn, I missed that one.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
But yeah, that was just one that he did a video of. So when I heard Mangione, I was like, I know that name. I did a little research. This is all Wikipedia.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Shit.
I'm looking up a lot of it right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you look up what's his name? The guy that was assassinated in cold blood in front of the hotel in New York.
The healthcare worker?
Yeah, Brian
Thompson,
right? Wasn't
Yeah, I'm looking up his name. I forgot. It's crazy that we don't remember their names.
I can't think of his name. That's terrible. He should be the only one that we remember his name.
Brian Thompson.
Brian Thompson, yeah. Okay, so Brian Thompson was the CEO or whatever of United Healthcare. They were in and out of Congress and testifying like the entire summer, and I think maybe even into the year previous, because of all sorts of shit going on.
That's true.
And as far as I was able to find on Google, right as this shit was happening, as soon as they said Mangione, I started doing research, and what I was able to find was that United Healthcare got hacked, and there was a company that came in and dealt with the hacking. And it just happened to be a company that Nancy and Paul Pelosi had dumped a bunch of money into right before the hack. Then the man that was assassinated was about to testify in front of Congress after months and months of United Healthcare already testifying with all these other different people that about actual insider trading, which would lead me to believe, well, if they've been grilling you all summer and now this guy is going to talk about something and you get nailed, well, I don't know. That's a mob hit. They want to talk conspiracy. Well, it's just a mob hit, guys.
Yeah.
So that was the one that I was like, hey, next time you go on Tim, one of Tim's shows, bring that shit up and be like, hey, here we go. This is probably the most reasonable thing.
A lot of weird connections. I'm beginning to think a lot of these assassins might not be the assassins. There's something very weird going on. You know, when they dressed up Mangione to look like Lee Harvey Oswald when he was arrested, you see that photo?
Oh, Jesus Christ! That's
Why did they do that?
My uncle told me. That's one of my. I found out 8 years old. You know that picture of him holding the rifle? That's not him.
Right, but I'm talking about when he was in cuffs with the red sweater and the white shirt underneath. I mean, there's a very similar picture to Lee Harvey Oswald.
Also, we don't. Yeah, technically, we don't even know that that's actually a photo of him.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Where Lee Harvey Oswald is sitting there and he's getting shot and he's coming out with the shirt. There's like multiple photos.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can look up.
Yeah.
You can look up right now. I mean, whether or not we know they're true or not, there is what looks to be an old photo of Lee Harvey Oswald in cuffs, cops on either side of him in suits. He's wearing slacks, a red sweater with a white dress shirt underneath. And you can look at Luigi Mangione
yes.
wearing a red sweater,
mirrored
slacks.
the image of Yes, I know exactly what
And
you're
I
talking
believe
about. Yes.
Lee Harvey Oswald was a patsy.
That is a symbol. That is how they communicate. That is what I was talked about. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why I told you at the beginning.
Yep. No, dude, it's very strange, the architecture.
Yeah. For 30 years I've been sitting here being able to read this shit, and it was just one of those like, oh well, for Christ's sakes, you want to know about the triangles? They're everywhere.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate it.
Old school military shit. That's nothing. That's nothing. I did want to say one thing about the Charlie Kirk thing, though.
Okay, go for it.
Well, actually, I want to say a lot of things about it, but the one thing about the whole conspiracy and this and that, blah blah, about the actual physical shot.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about, well, it's a 30-06. It's this, it's that. This is what a bullet would do. First off, fuck off. Y'all don't know what the fuck lead is going to do when it hits and when it impacts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, stop. Second of all, when I witnessed the actual shots, what I saw was that it struck body armor, ricocheted into his throat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why everyone keeps saying that he's shot in the neck. Like, yes, technically the throat is part of the neck, but what I saw was that it hit and came up through the neck.
And then I've heard he wasn't wearing body armor.
Well, when I was looking at all the other photos, it looked to me like he was wearing body armor.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what was given to us and shown. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But that was one of the first things that I read once he had been pronounced dead. They said that it had struck his body armor, went through his neck.
Yep, that's why you can't.
I do know that at 200 yards, you can kill a human being with a fucking pistol. Okay, you can grab a 357. That is bullshit. So the conspiracies about what's possible is what pisses me off. Not who, not where, not when, but just the concepts of like, well, 30-06. Oh, shut up.
Yeah,
guys.
You can see people who shoot 30-06 all across the spectrum who have different experiences and different theories about it. It's why, that's why, again, I'm going to say I'm not going to be emotionally attached to any information yet, because like you said, when the first reports come out, it's saying this and that. There's been so many first reports that are contradictory now. And I think that's on purpose. The chaos
100%.
is by 100%. Design. So I'm 100%. Not, recently today, I think it was today, I think even one of the people close to TPUSA was saying there was no body armor. But, I don't know. I thought at one point maybe he was wearing body armor. I look at other photos, he wasn't. It's so hard to know,
100%. Yeah. So that was just the one thing that I just want to say, that like the physical shot of 200 yards.
Right.
And it's like, no, dude, you can take a 350 Legend. You go ask any deer hunter in fucking the Midwest. That stop. Everybody stop. Like, relax. Some jackass could actually pull that off.
Anything's possible.
I'm also very upset that other people are getting squirrely and calling out people about conspiracy theories. Like, that also seems like, no, shut up, dude. Someone was assassinated. Let everybody run. Let Candace Owens and what's the other guy? Ian Carroll. Yep. Is that his name?
Yep.
Let them go run. Let those dogs hunt. Let them go find, if they smell something, let them sniff it out and figure it out.
Yeah.
Because you know what? 5 years ago, I didn't know that the First Lady of France had a dick. I didn't know that. Now I do. So,
yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yep. Oh, well, now it seems obvious.
Yep. It's there the whole time.
Well, yeah, just one good picture and a pair of jeans, and you go, well, shit.
It's true. But no, I agree. I agree. We should not be emotionally attached to any information. Also, it's totally okay to ask questions. Keep asking questions. There's a history of us being lied to.
No, just don't poison the fucking well, because then you're going to poison the rest of the town.
Right. Well, yeah.
That's my only reservation with that.
Be careful, but
with what? Well, I'm sorry. What were you? What do you want me to poison the well with?
No, not you. You're talking about let these people have their opinions and things like that, because of the situation. But my comment was based off of don't poison the well, meaning don't spin, you know, a crazy ass narrative that is going to fuck a bunch of people's heads up in the country. Like, there's one thing to bring up facts, and then there's another thing to just spew bullshit. And bullshit is what metaphorically poisoning the well poisons the entire city. The whole thing is that people are going to believe that shit, you know?
I 100% agree with you. But let me just say it this way. I have literally been 5 years old sitting there watching us going into fucking Iraq. I've been there fucking 18 years old watching us go into Afghanistan, and then 20 years old again fucking with Iraq. Mm-hmm. So I really kind of want you to put what you just said into context, what all of the people that somehow decide what the fuck we're doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. I just don't think that that's ever going to happen. Cool. That's why it's extremely important that we don't add to that.
You can look at the French Revolution. People say like, oh yeah, why don't you like unions? I don't think they work for you. Oh yeah, well, when everything goes to shit, what's going to happen? I don't know. Have you ever seen the French Revolution? They kill them all. They just literally kill them all. Like,
yep, I know, and I agree with being careful what you put out there, but it's almost like you can't stop it. We got to make sure the people can discern the bad stuff, because it's like what we've been talking about for the past 2 weeks. There's so much stuff put out there that's so easily debunked with the conspiracies, you know, and I'm into conspiracies, but like, you're like, okay, that's just BS. We don't need that. But, it's just going to be part of the process, unfortunately, but people fall for it. And I think that's also part of the design, knowing that they can interject.
Oh, absolutely. The controlled opposition thing is the controlled opposition.
Right.
Like just the concept of putting it out there, you go, oh, Jesus, now I don't know what to believe. Absolutely.